Should you buy a pre-facelift M135i in 2024? Is it a yes or is it a no? Keep watching to find out. Andrew here from Bracey's Motors, and in the last 3 years I've seen the price of these vehicles come down dramatically. You can now get them for under £10,000 with amazing spec, and today we're asking the question, should you buy one or should you steer clear? So these vehicles were produced between 2011 and 2014 where they facelifted to the newer shape, and this one behind me is a 2013, so it's a perfect example with brilliant spec. So we're going to show you a few reasons why you should buy one of these cars. So there's a few reasons why someone might want to get into one of these cars. The first of which being insurance. If you're after a 140 or 135, these are certainly the cheaper option as opposed to the 140. They are still going up a little bit, but they are staying cheaper than the 140 alternatives. Option two is you've got about £10,000 to spend. You want something fast, you want something rear-wheel drive, and certainly this is a very good option within that. And of course, if you want something with nice spec, nice interior, for my opinion anyway, I think these give you a great interior for under £10,000. So these M135i's are equipped with an N55 engine, which is the updated version of an N54. So these engines run on a twin scroll turbo, which is a single turbo, as opposed to the twins that were in the N54 engines. They also don't have a throttle body like the N54s have. They run on a Valvetronic system to control the air of the engine. So these engines are very well equipped out the box. They have 301 brake horsepower, they have 400 newton meters of torque, and they'll get you from 0 to 60 in just 5 seconds with a top speed of 160 mile an hour. It's quite impressive out the box, and being a 6-cylinder, it obviously does give you that little boost of torque, which is really nice, and certainly sounds a lot better than the 4-pots as well at this price range. So not only do these N55s have amazing performance, they're also a lot more reliable than the N54s. I actually do own an N54 at the moment, and it has been in pieces for the last 2 years. So I can definitely say that you can have fun in these and have prolonged fun as well, because they're not going to let you down. Now this exact one is actually on 129,000 miles, and it's still running exactly as it should. I think we've only replaced the Valvetronic system, and after then it's been absolutely amazing. So yeah, really well performing engine, sounds really good, drives really good, very reliable, and yeah, all round good design. So coming out of the engine bay, we're moving on to the braking system here. Now this is one of the best braking systems that was ever produced and installed on a non-M BMW, because of course this is an M light car, so to speak. These have got 6-pot brakes that can take you from 60 mile an hour to a dead stop in just 2.5 seconds, which is amazing out the box, and another good reason why these are a great option if you've got under £10,000 to spend. So going on to the design of the car, I really do like these wheels. A lot of people these are quite Marmite for, but I really like the design. I think they look great on the car. Not on any other cars. I've seen people put these on a few other things and it doesn't look the best, but on these cars I think they suit them really, really well. The silver mirror caps as well, they're just a good sign of, you know, the fact that it's not a normal 118D or something like that. I think they give it a bit of a different look. The 3 doors like this one is, I don't really like it, to be honest. There's just not enough room in the back there. The 4 doors for me definitely look a lot better. But you know, I think they look very sporty in a 3-door, and I think it comes down to what you prefer in a car. So come around to the back of the car. I think this is one of the biggest areas that you can tell if it's a facelift or not, just from looking at it. They do look a little bit dated in my opinion, just because of the lights. So in the newer cars they come across like that, and they do just look a bit more mean. You've also got the twin exhaust pipes down the bottom, which I really like the look of. I think it looks really nice, and very smooth as well. It doesn't look too aggressive, although you can get some really nice diffusers to install that give it a bit more of an aggressive look, so you can get just what you're going for out of the car. Coming into the boot, for a small car, pretty ample space I would say. The person who bought this from BMW's obviously got this fancy BMW mat there, but yeah, nice little space in the boot. You can take the seats down as well, and of course you've got some Harman Kardon speakers up here, but we'll get into the spec in just a second, and you get a little snippet of the levers there as well. But yeah, come inside and we'll show you the interior. So moving on to the interior of the car, very, very nice in here. There's a lot of different options in these M135i's, as opposed to the M cars that come really, really, you know, highly spec from factory. These ones you can get really good spec ones, and you can get, you know, really poor spec ones. So this obviously has the Pro Nav, which is a massive upgrade for me. I think the standard navigation is not really fit for purpose, especially in, you know, today's day and age. You've got the Harman Kardons as well. So from standard, BMWs have awful speakers in my opinion. I just don't think they're up to scratch, especially again from today's standards. But these Harman Kardons are really nice, really punchy, and if you're a music head, definitely a necessity. So coming on to the designs, you've got a few different choices. So the trims, they've obviously got the, you know, the wood grain finish here. Normally I'm really not a fan, but I think it does quite well in here. It gives a bit of an elegant feel, as much as you're going to get in a 1 Series of this age anyway. And the leathers as well. So a lot of people, again, red leathers are a big Marmite thing. I really like them myself. I think they look really different, and you know, it certainly gives it a bit of a sporty feel as well. So yeah, we've also got on the side of the seats here 6-way adjustable seats with memory functions as well. They are heated, which is nice. And definitely, you know, a good creature comfort for the longer journeys. So coming off of the topic of long journeys, you'll probably want to know what these cars do miles to the gallon wise, how much fuel they use, and to be honest with you, it greatly depends on how you drive it. Now down here you've got a selection of modes that you can choose: Sport Plus, Sport, Comfort and Eco Pro. Now if you have these cars in Eco Pro and you drive them nicely without a lead foot, you literally can get 35 miles to the gallon, which is amazing. However, for most people, if you're buying a car like this, you're driving it in a normal way, in comfort or sport, you're going to return, I would say, 22, 23 miles to the gallon, which is still pretty good for us. You know, a 6-cylinder M-Light car. I think that's still pretty good, as much as you can ask for from a car like this. So as we mentioned earlier, the space is not very good in a 3-door car like this. What is quite cool is to have a little button on the seat here to move it forward and backward electrically, which is nice, but certainly, if you had to squeeze back here for too long, you wouldn't be having much fun. I mean, that is right forward, and I have not got much leg room here, and certainly it's just not very comfortable. I've had to sit in my mate's ones a few times, and yeah, it's just not the best in here, in my opinion. But I mean, look, you don't really buy a hot hatch for all the space in the back. You know, if you wanted a load of space, you'd buy a saloon or SUV or a bigger car. So yeah, not the most space back there. But I mean, understandable in a car of this size. Now, of course, BMW do give you a 4-door option, which gives a lot more space in the back. Certainly on the door side, they don't have these massive pillows here. So if you are looking for a bit more space, definitely a 4-door model would be the one to go for. However, look, if you like a small sporty look and you never carry anyone on the back, 3-door, you know, it might be for you. So boring bit over now, we're going to go for a drive. We're going to sort of give you our opinion of what it goes like on the road. So yeah, let's start her up and get on the road. So straight away, as soon as I've started driving this, it reminded me I forgot one crucial point, which is the steering wheel of these cars. Now, the design of them is very much disliked for a lot of people. They're a bit of a big design. I don't really know why they made it this massive, especially it's meant to be a sort of small, sporty car. I do really like the cruise control buttons and the media control buttons. It's really nice, but certainly it doesn't need to have this massive thing in the middle. I just think it looks ridiculous. One cool thing you can do though is you can get the facelift wheels that start from a 2015, will have the really nice T-bar centre, and you can get them installed, and I'm pretty sure it's more or less a plug and play upgrade. So yeah, really nice little upgrade you can do there. Bit expensive, but certainly worthwhile if I was to keep one. So these cars come equipped with an absolutely amazing gearbox. It's the ZF 8-speed. It's used in so many cars nowadays, it's ridiculous. Even my recovery truck actually has the same gearbox. So yeah, these cars come supplied with the ZF 8-speed auto, or you can get them in a 6-speed manual. You know, so if you want to feel the road a little bit more, if you want to be a bit more connected, and if you're a manual guy that likes the feel of a clutch pedal, you can certainly, you know, go for them options as well. I do know the manual modes, or the manual cars, should I say, do have a lot of problems with the synchros, which can fail. But they do, I've driven them, and they do give you a really nice feeling when you're driving them. So certainly an option you shouldn't ignore if you're in the market for one. You can save a lot of money going down that route as well. So you can use these gearbox in a number of different ways. We've got flappy paddles on the wheel, which are really nice and responsive. And you've also got a sport mode. It's a bit more responsive as well. And you can even change gears down here, like a sequential almost, which has a really nice feel. And it's strange, you wouldn't normally think you would ever use that, but when you've just got your hand sitting here, sometimes it is a bit easier to just cycle through the gears like that. So the exhaust in these cars sound really nice from factory. They are a bit quiet if you know you like something loud and brash. but a lot of people, they change the downpipes, the back boxes, the centre pipes, the res deletes. There is just so much stuff out there you can do to these now because they've been out for so long. So you know, you really can tailor it to exactly what you want out of a car. So the exhaust system is valved in the back box, however you can't really hear much of a difference when you do have it in Sport Plus when you're driving along. So certainly you'll need a res delete or a downpipe to really get that difference. It does do a few more crackles and pops, but nothing obnoxious or nothing you couldn't drive through town with. So yeah, it's a valve system, it sounds really nice, and certainly tunable if that's what you want to do. So these cars also feature an electronic dampening system, which is a really nice touch in a car of this age. So quite a popular thing with these cars is the very famous sports displays. So when you put it in Sports Plus, you've got this little option here. So when you click on it, it displays your power and your torque. It can bring out your inner Fast and Furious inside you and really make, you know, push the foot down a little bit more. But no, it's nice to see sort of what power you're using at each time. It's quite interesting actually that at some points you think you're going quite fast, you're not actually using the whole power of the engine. So, you know, certainly for most of us just a bit of fun, but for the more trained drivers, definitely a useful little tool as well. So if you're the type of person that likes to have an occasional spirited drive, this is definitely one thing you need to think about. So these are all supplied 140s as well with an open diff, which is, for those who know about driving and, you know, really do enjoy a spirited drive, as I said, they don't provide the best and most satisfactory drive. Certainly the M cars, they all come with limited slip diffs, and it just feels a world of different when you're, you know, going around the corner a bit fast or even losing a bit of traction. Certainly this is why I think a lot of these cars are crashed, and maybe why the insurance prices are going up a little bit. But yeah, definitely something to think about if you don't like open diffs. There are options where you can put limited slip diffs in at, you know, decent price. I think M Performance diffs are about 1,300 quid, and then obviously got to get them installed. They're not the worst to install in the world, but definitely something to think about. Certainly being a rear-wheel drive car and having that as one of the main characteristics of the car, you would think that maybe they would have installed these with a limited slip, but you know, open, it's not too bad. I mean, I've definitely driven cars with, you know, worse back end action, but you know, definitely something to think about if you go sideways a lot, as we say. So a lot of you might be here because you're torn between getting a 135 and a 140, and I think certainly it comes down to budget. Now, undoubtedly the 140s are a nicer car. You know, they do have a better engine, the B58. It's become very, very popular in the last couple of years for everyone, for daily drivers, for tuners, and it's been used in an astronomical amount of cars. I mean, even the new Supras are using the same B58 engine that the 140s are installed with. But that doesn't mean to say that these cars aren't a really good contender. These are typically about nearly half the price now, and for half the money you're getting a very similar car that looks very similar on the inside, facelift or not, and certainly, yes, a good option to have with, you know, to use if you have a bit less budget than, you know, your 140i customers. So if you are someone that likes a bit more power and you do want to buy one of these to modify and change around, one really crucial thing you must remember is that these are quite common to have rod bearing failure. Now, it's certainly something you can hear when you're going to buy a car, so I don't think it's something you can get stung by. However, the previous generation of these engines, the N54, actually had a forged bottom end. That's why they're a lot more popular with tuners, massively in America actually. But yeah, definitely something to consider. So yeah, in summary, these cars are absolutely brilliant for the money. So I think if you should buy one, it greatly depends on you, what you need out of your car, and what you like and your budget. So, you know, if you can afford that 140 and it is within budget, I do think maybe you should go for that. However, if you don't and you do want something rear-wheel drive, you want something 6-cylinder, you want something with a bit of go and a bit of looks, I think this is definitely a very good contender. Would I buy it over an S3 and a A45? Me, because I'm a Beamer person, I probably would. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, what you'd buy in the comments. I think these are brilliant for the money, and if you are interested in buying one of these cars, we can definitely source one for you. It's not a problem. This one is now sold, so it will be unavailable. We do buy a lot of these cars. If you do have one to sell, please let us know. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Keep following, keep subscribing, and let us know what one you'd buy in the comments. See you soon.